Hi guys, I'm Agarwal. You are watching my channel 52 Pixels. Let's get started. Hi guys, in this tutorial we are going to see how to create a Decay Pixel Explosion kind of an effect using Photoshop. So well, as you can see, these are the two images that I have already created to demonstrate how the effect is going to look actually. Now let's get started to how to do it actually. Now to get started, first I'll just revert the image back to its normal place. So as you can see, this is the normal image. Now to start working, what I'm going to do is just I'm going to start with duplicating this layer. So I can just right click on this and say duplicate layer, and it is going to create a duplicate layer. Now just go to select, and under select we have something called as subject, because I want to select the subject. So I'll just tap on select subject. It will take some time for processing, but as you can see, it has selected the subject. And this particular tutorial, you don't have to make a proper selection. Selection doesn't matter in this particular tutorial. What matters is how skillful you do it. And for this tutorial we are going to use a special kind of a brush which is called as an explosion brush. It might not be there in your Photoshop, so you will have to install it. And don't worry, I'll provide you with the link to install the explosion brush in the description below. So make sure you check the description in the comment section and in the description as well. Now to get started, we have created this layer. Now I can just mask it out, and this is the masking, but you won't be able to see it because we have the background already there. So now if you can see, we have this as a mask. I'll just turn on the background once again, and I'll right click on the mask, and after right clicking we have all these several options. Out of these I'm going to select apply layer mask. So what is going to happen is that this layer mask is going to get applied to the main image and the original image is going to get lost. That's why we are going to use this background layer as a background, and we are going to duplicate it because we don't want to lose this extra background or the original image. Now with this background copy image, I'm just going to go to filter, and we've already studied this tool called as Liquify. So we are going to use the Liquify tool, and under Liquify tool what we are going to do is just stretch a little part of this image out so that it looks you can say it looks stretched out, or I don't know how to mention that, but anyways, you are just going to see it. So I just want to stretch this portion out so that I can work around with the effect. But as you might have noticed, it is becoming hard for me as other parts of the region what I'm not selecting, even they are getting selected and even they are getting transformed. So instead of doing all that, we have something called as freeze and thaw. So over here we have freeze mask and we have thaw mask. So what freeze mask does is that it will freeze a certain portion of body or the subject or object that I specify, and it will not get affected using this forward warp tool or the reconstruct tool, or you can say the bloat tool. It won't get affected with those tools. So I'll just use the freeze mask. I'll increase the brush size and I'll just apply the freeze mask over here. So now as you can see, I've applied the freeze mask. Now I can just work around with the forward warp tool very easily, very conveniently, and I can just start by dragging. But as you can see, the other parts are getting dragged as well because they have not been you can say conserved by using the freeze mask tool. So we are again going to press Ctrl plus Z to go back, and we are just going to start by doing it slowly and steadily. Make sure you don't mess up. So just like this, we are going to extend it till the end from all the sides. So as you can see, I'm just doing it over here. Same way with the hairs. Just work your way around the whole image until you find it that it is stretched using the Liquify tool till the corners. By corners, what I mean is that it is just going to get attached to the edges. That's what we need for this particular tutorial. And once you are done, you can just click on OK. I just need to work a bit over here. Now that, as you can see, I've done with the Liquify tool, I can just click on OK and I've got my image. But this is not the image that we want. We want a normal image, and then we need to use the brush, as you might have thought earlier. So for doing that, I'm just going to press and hold the Alt key and then tap on the mask, so that it will create a black mask, which means that the contents in the edits are not getting saved, because black doesn't mean that black means that it is not displaying anything, and white means that it is displaying what is underneath. So now if we want to display what is underneath, we'll just have to use the white color, so that we can work around our way with the decay pixel effect. That is kind of like the color burst effect or something you can call it. But anyways, so now we can just work our way using the brush. And what brush are we going to use? Just go to the brushes, and after downloading the explosion brush, you'll find it over here. And over here we have almost around, let's see, so we have 13 different brushes for explosion. Let's see which one would work the best for us. So make sure that you are working with the mask layer, not the original image. We have to work with the layer that contains the mask, that is the layer mask. So make sure that you are working with that and check which brush suits the best for your particular work. I guess brush number 3 of explosion will work the best in our case, so I'll just work with that one. And let's start by making it a little larger. So I'll increase the size to 2000. That's quite a big number. Now let's start by painting it out somewhat like this. So make sure that the color is white, and once the color is white, you can, as you can see, you can just make it see through somewhat like this, and the effect is just applied over here. It is looking very good, but the problem is that it is looking very dark, so we can work around our way with the opacity. I'll reduce the opacity to around, let it be between 80 to 90, and then you can just start by applying the effect. Make sure the brush is quite big enough, because it has this edges and we don't want these edges, so you can work around your way with the brush settings as well. So using brush settings, you can change the angle so that the edges don't come in your way, and you can just use the side which doesn't have all that clustering of the brush. You can use the free side somewhat like this, around here, same way at the end. So again, you can just change the angle of your brush and make it look like this. So it's all about experimenting with different brush angles and different explosion brushes, and of course the opacity. But once you find the sweet spot that you feel that would work well, you can just work around with that particular brush and the settings, and you can get your effect. Now I'll have to reduce the brush, because in certain areas like over here, we are getting that edge which we don't want. So I'll reduce the brush size and I'll rotate it to this angle, a little over here, and just start by painting it inside. Now make the opacity as 100%, because we want to remove everything. Make sure that the color is black to remove everything, and to add anything we have to use white color. But now that we are removing, make sure that the color is black. And now as you can see, we've got that fluid kind of an effect of pixels. I don't know what to call it, but let's call it Decay Pixel Explosion effect. Now once we are done, you can just add a new layer and sample a color. That color could be anything. I'll choose a color from the hairs, and again using the same brush and the same settings, I'll just increase the brush size, and maybe I'll have to change the angle. Yeah, so I've got the brush and I've got the angle. I'll just plot some you can say some pixels over here using the brush. Again, we'll have to work around with the angle. It's a lot of hard work. So now that we have got the effect, now we can just select this layer 1. Again, go to filter, blur. Under blur we have something called as Gaussian blur. We are just going to blur it out. How much? A lot, because we just want it to be seen like it's near the frame or something like that. And then we'll reduce the opacity as well to as low as 24%, just so that it's seen and it makes it look more visible and fun. Same way we have worked around over here. I don't think so I need to explain it once again. What I did is again selected the person I created the background copy layer. In that copy layer I created the mask. Again I applied the layer mask. Now with that layer mask I went to filter, liquify, again liquefied the hairs in the same way that I did with this particular image. Liquefied the hairs, and then after coming back I applied the mask. Using the brush I applied the brush over here and added a new layer with this white color spots and used the Gaussian blur and opacity to adjust it according to my image. So this is somewhat kind of that decaying pixel effect, which looks like, you know, the person is fading away into some small cubes or pixels. And I don't know, I just have seen that effect in movies, so I'm saying it, but it's something like a cool effect which you might want to try out. So well, that's it for today guys. If you found the video to be helpful, please like the video, and in case of any queries or suggestions, please feel free to reach out to me through the comments. With that being said, it's me Agarwal signing off for the day. See you in the next one. Thank you.